Guys, so this is how far I've come with this particular corset that I'm making, and it's looking so nice. Can you see? This one is an overbust corset. That's a Victorian corset. I had a modesty panel at the back, so you can see there. This is what it's looking like with the sleeve. Look at the back. Now I'm thinking, I actually think I prefer it without the sleeve, but then it depends on where you're wearing it to. But anyways, this is what it's looking like with the big puff sleeves. So let me know in the comment section which one you actually prefer, because I prefer it without the sleeves, or we can actually bring down this puff sleeves to just be down here. Let me go ahead and do that right now. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, now this is nice.
Hey, what the hell? Why?
So guys, as you can see, I already drafted out the pattern. I'm sorry I have a cold, just in case my voice is sounding kind of weird today. Okay, so as you can see, I already drafted out the pattern. The tutorial for the drafting of this pattern is already on my channel. The link is going to be in my bio if you are here to see it. As you can see, I've already gone ahead to use this pattern to cut out of my actual fabric, and you'll see that I gave stitching allowance all the way around my pattern paper. I gave it 0.75 stitching allowance all the way around. So as you can see, I'm turning the back of my lining and marking it so that I'll know the space exactly where I'm going to be ironing my hairstay. And for the back of my actual fabric, is actually very easy to differentiate. The front looks very different from the back. So I'm going to go ahead now and iron my hairstay to all the pieces, both the lining and the actual fabric. You'll be ironing the hairstay to the back. So after I was done ironing the hairstay to all the pieces, as you can see, both the lining and the actual pieces, I made sure to place back the pattern paper so that we don't make any mistakes when we are trying to actually stitch these pieces down. Okay, so this is what I have here. I have my back pieces here, and then these other ones here are the front pieces. So now we're going to go ahead and arrange these pieces according to the numbers that we gave. Remember that when we were drafting out this pattern, if you have seen that video, I gave it 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I have the center front piece. When I was cutting the center front piece, I cut it in a fold. That's why it's looking like it's wider, but it was cut in a fold. The center front piece must be cut like this, only if you want to separate your center front piece. Now this is the center front, and this is the center front 2. This one was cut in 2 places, so one is going to be on this side, and then the other part will be on the other side. Let me just explain it to you guys. Let me remove all the lining pieces first before we place them side by side. So make sure to pin the lining and the pattern paper back so that you don't make any mistakes, because when you're making corset, it's actually very easy to mix the patterns together. So this is the center front, and then these are the other side pieces. Okay, from this other piece, we're going to put it on this side like this. Can you see what I'm doing? Then this one will go here like this, and then this other one will go here like this. Then we have a full front pattern. So now I'm going to go ahead and join all these pieces together with the allowance that we gave it earlier. So the 2 center front pieces, I'm just going to go ahead and pin them down, just like you see me doing like this. Just go ahead and pin it down, or you can go over to the sewing machine and just stitch down directly, but I prefer to pin down. So I'll place the other one as well and pin it all the way around. This is very easy to do, but I'll advise that you pin it first. Just go ahead and pin it down, just like you see me doing like this. After pinning this one side, you can see how it's looking like on the inside. So I'll go ahead and pin the other side as well and go ahead and stitch this down. So guys, after pinning it down, it's going to look like this. Now we head over to the sewing machine and make stitches all the way around these places here with the 0.75 inch stitching allowance that I gave earlier. After I was through with that, this is what it looks like. You can see what I have here. So I'll be leaving this piece aside now, and we'll work on the back pieces as well. So I'll go ahead and arrange them the way they are supposed to be first before we go ahead and remove the lining and separate the actual fabric from there. So these are the 3 back pieces, 1, 2, and 3. This is the center back. As you can see, it has all the circles on it. So I'll go ahead and remove the lining pieces and pin it with the pattern paper again. Like I said before, make sure you do this. I'll do this for all the other pieces before we start arranging them down. So guys, these are all the pieces for the back. So I'm going to be separating them. As you can see, there's going to be an opening at this back here for our lacing at the back. So these are the two sides of the back. So I'll just go ahead and place them together, right sides facing each other, just like I did on the other pieces, and go ahead and pin it down before we head over and stitch down on the sewing machine. So guys, I'm going to go over and stitch down these areas with the same allowances that I'm using, which is 0.75, and do the same thing for the other pieces as well. So after I was done making that stitch, this is what I have. This straight part here is the middle, and then the curved part is going to be the side. So I'm going to be placing the curved part. Make sure to arrange it properly. So you can see I'm placing this back part to the side of the front piece, and I'm just going ahead to pin it down. Now this can be very tricky, honestly, because this is a video. There's no way I can be very slow because the video will be too long. But right now, as you can see, I'm joining the sides with the front pattern that we stitched down earlier. So I'll just go ahead and use my sewing machine now to stitch it down on the sides, and then iron all my seams open, and do the same thing for the lining pieces as well. So guys, after making all the stitches and I went ahead to iron my seams open, you can see this is what I have right now. This is all, both front and back pieces are here. As you can see, I know it's looking small, that's because I'm very small. And now this is the lining pieces as well. I've gone ahead to stitch down everything. So right now what I'm going to go ahead and do, as you can see, is I'm going to head over to the sewing machine and create my boning casing. So what I want to do is I'm going to be using this small bone. This is the smallest, so I'm going to check on my allowances that I have, because that's where I want to use for my boning casing. So I'm going to be folding this allowance in like this on the sides and stitching down just enough for my boning casing. But for the front pieces, I will just be stitching on both sides of this the line that I have. Stitch on both sides, but for all the back pieces I will stitch to one side. I don't know if you guys understand. I'll be stitching to one side on the back pieces, but on the front pieces I will stitch on both sides of my stitching. I guess now it's more understandable now that I've done it. So this is what it looks like after I'm done stitching it down. You really don't need to carry out this process on the lining because it's not needed, okay? It's just needed on the actual fabric. Now what I want to go ahead and do is I'm going to be placing the lining and the actual fabrics right side facing each other, just like you see me doing like this, and I'll go ahead and stitch down these ends here. So I'll stitch it down here by about 1/2 inch, turn it over to the right side and iron it out. So after I was done with that, I went ahead to create another boning casing very close to it. Can you see what I did here? It's just a stitch very close to that line. And this is what I have. So what I'm doing now is I'm pinning the top of my corset, that's the neck area, all the way around. I'm just arranging them properly and pinning it down, because the way I'm going to be finishing up this particular one is quite different from all the ones I've been doing in the past. So I'm just going to trim off any excesses I have at this top area here, and you can see what I have right now. So if you have any excess, go ahead and trim it out, just like you see me doing right now. So guys, for this particular corset, I decided to pipe the top of the neckline with a bias. So how I'm going to be going about this is I'm going to be placing a bias from the back, and you can go ahead and pin it down first before you stitch it down. So you can pin it all the way around and then go ahead and fold it in like this towards the front. Can you see what I'm doing here? So I'm going to do this all the way around the neckline of this, and after I was done with that, this is what it looks like. This is actually very simple to do, and it actually gives a very beautiful effect. So this is what I had after I was done piping the neckline. So now I'm also going to go ahead and trim off the ends of this blouse, just like I did at the top. So I'll just go ahead and trim it off, make sure everything is exactly the same on both sides. So guys, now on the bust area, what I want to do is I want to add a ready-made cup to this area. So this is the cup I'm going to be using, and I placed the cup earlier and noticed that the cup was too big for the space it's going to be sitting. So I'll just go ahead and trim off the cup, just like you see me doing like this. Just make it smaller, and then I'll fit it into the area of the breast that I want it to be. Do the same thing for the other side as well. Look at the way I'm placing it. Make sure the cup is facing towards you. like the curved part of the cup should be facing towards the fabric. So as you can see, I'm using a pin to hold it in place when I'm sure it's steady where I want it to be, and I'll do the same thing for the other side as well. Place the cup on the curved area of the bustier. It's actually very easy to find, and go ahead and pin it down as well. So I'll be using a needle and thread to secure this in place, but first you need to turn it over to the right side to be sure that everything is sitting pretty nice before you go ahead and stitch it down on the inside with your needle and thread. So I'm going to use my needle and thread to just stitch this. You're going to make these stitches very light. You're going to stitch it to those stitching allowances that you have around the cup, so that at the end of the day the sewing stitches you made are not showing in front. Okay, so after I was done making that stitch, this is what I have, and you can see the cup area is sitting perfectly. But before we finish up these ends, I'm going to be adding my boning to all the boning casing. And as you can see, this is a new thing I discovered lately, using a file to file the ends of your bone, and it actually makes it come out very smooth. So as you can see, I just filed the end of this particular one, and I'm going to pass it through the casing that I have here. So I'm going to use this bone to measure on the fabric the area where it's going to be. Make sure that the bone is about half an inch shorter than where you're going to be placing it, so that you don't have issues where you're stitching down the ends. Okay, so we'll be placing the bone in this direction, the direction of the curve. Push it in and make sure there's some extra spaces at the end. So I'll go ahead and place my bone through all the casings, and for this part here where I have my ready-made cups, I'm going to be ending my bones on this area where the cup stopped, so it's not going to go all the way to the end. But for the other part, I'll place the bone through to the end. So guys, after passing all the bones through the casing, this is what I had. Now it will always be curved when you are done passing your bone. The only way to make it straight is to iron it out very properly, and you need a very good steam iron for that. You can see how I have it now after I was done ironing it out. So this is how to go about making your bones straight. Someone was asking me recently that her bones never stand straight. They will never stand straight. You're the one that will have to iron it out to make it straight. Now to finish up this blouse, as you can see, I have a fabric that I've cut out like a bias. I'm just pinning it all the way around the end of this corset, just like you see me doing like this. So I went ahead to make the first stitch, and now I'll be using this to fold in like this, as you can see, and finish up this end. So I'll be folding it up like this. You can actually decide to finish it up like this and pin it down. So this is what I'm going to be doing. Because this area is very thick, this area of the corset is very thick, I will not be able to use my hand needle, my sewing machine, so I'll be using my hand needle and thread to finish up this end. Okay, so I'll just first of all pin it all the way around, then come in with my needle and thread, go ahead and use my needle and thread to finish up this area, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So guys, after using my needle and thread, this is what it looks like. You can also use your sewing machine here, but just make sure you don't get your needles broken. So after finishing up that end, you can see on the back here, I've gone ahead to mark the spaces where I'm going to be placing my eyelets. Okay, I have a whole video on the channel on how to go about placing eyelets into a corset. So for this one, I just had to be fast about it because this video is already very long. So this is what it looks like after I was done placing the eyelets on the both sides of the back. So make sure that you place them in the same spot on both parts so that one is no longer than the other. So now last minute I decided to add a modesty panel to this. This is very simple. What I did was to fold a piece of fabric into two. Now the length of this fabric is 8 inches and this other side is 7.5 inches. You're going to have to measure your own, but just make sure that when you're done and you have placed it on the back like this, it's about 1 inch away from the top and 1 inch away from the end. Okay, so now I'm going to be placing this about 2 inches into the back, and because I've already done all the inner stitches for this particular corset, I'm going to be using a needle and thread to just tack this in. So I'll be doing a very neat stitching because this is it's going to be showing on the outside. You want to make sure that the stitch is very neat. So I'll just go ahead and do this all the way to the end, and I will show you guys what it looks like.
You're pretending that you like somebody else.
So guys, after stitching it down, this is what I have. So you can see how nicely it's sitting here. It's about 2 inches away from the end, and then this other side is going to cover it. So that's basically all for the making of this corset. I've gone ahead to fold in the remaining part of my bias to use for the lacing of the back. So basically when I wear this, I'm going to have someone help me lace it at the back, just like you see me doing like this. So I'm sure you're wondering how I went about the bias tape that I have around my neckline. Now this was very easy. All I did was to fold a piece of bias just like it is like this and stitch it down on both sides, just very close to the edges. And after I was done with that, this is what I had here. So it just made it very wide. So I cut out a piece, as you can see, and I placed it on one side and pin it down on one side of the cup area. But for me to be able to do the other side, I must have to wear it first. So when I had it on, someone helped me to pin it down at the back, so I know exactly where it's going to be there. So if you want to put that, that's how to go about it. Now for the detachable sleeve, what I went ahead to do was just to use the remaining fabric I had. I just cut it into two, folded the top and the bottom, just like you see here, folded it here and folded it at this end here. So guys, I'm going to be passing an elastic through the top and the bottom of the sleeve. So I just measured around my arm where the sleeve is going to end, and I'm going to be taking the measurement. So for the top, that's the area that is going to be on my shoulder. I'm going to be taking 8 inches, and I'll be actually cutting out 2 pieces for the 2 sleeves. And then for the area that is going to be around my sleeve, I am going to cut out 7.5, as you can see me doing like this. Okay, so one is 8 inch and the other one is 7.5. So I'm just going to be using my safety pin to pass it through the casing. So I'll pass the one that is 8 inch at the top, pass it around the casing that I have for the elastic, and the other one that is 7.5 inch, I'm going to pass it through the other end, just like you see me doing like this. And of course you will need to hold it in place with a pin while you're passing your elastic through the casing, or else you're just going to keep up with this process because it will continue coming out through the other side. So after passing the elastic through the both spaces, I am turning this over to the wrong side, so that I'll head over to the sewing machine and stitch my elastic in place, and then go ahead and stitch this area down here. I'll go ahead and do this and be right back. So this is basically all for the making of this simple sleeve. After I was done, this is it. It's a detachable sleeve. So that's basically all for the sewing of this particular corset. Thank you so much for watching. I actually hope that you find this video helpful. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. I'll be seeing you guys in my next video. Bye.